My grandmother died in 2002, and she has a very interesting history. She was born and raised in India, and I didn't really know her. Like, she lived apart from my family, and when she died, I had this sudden realization that I lost this huge history of a person that it won't be able to be recaptured otherwise, because she never wrote anything down.
Anything that seniors learn in their time roaming the earth would be wasted if it couldn't be passed on to somebody that was willing to be open-minded enough to listen.
Lester's Army Magazine is a youth connecting seniors project. That's the first aspect of the magazine. The second is the literary aspect. So our goal was to get young people together and create a literary magazine that would be enjoyable for everyone to read, but would also have components of hanging out with seniors, interviewing seniors, and then seniors submitting writing to the magazine as well.
Why are you here and why did you enjoy about it?
When you say you're working on a project like this, it suddenly opens people's minds, opens people's eyes, and opens people's mouths, which is great to hear people's stories, even if they're from last week. They don't have to be from 1957.
All the old guys have so many good stories to tell. They have so many fun stories, some sad, but there's a lot of humor. They have a lot of humor if you get to know them.
The magazine is supposed to be in the same format as a magazine would have been in the 1940s, because we're trying to reach out to that sort of audience, and the first issue anyways is based around that era, World War II essentially.
We have 10 youth who are working on editing and writing. We did a lot of training around writing memoir, around writing for magazines.
We have quite a few young people coming in here now, and they like to get into conversations with us older folk. And they're quite amazed at some of the things we went through. The more you know about the history, the less you're going to do the same things over again.
What I've learned from hanging out with vets is that they want us to learn from their mistakes. They want us to understand firsthand what it was like.
Well, I've gotten to meet people like Gene, for example, who's, it's such a vibrant person. It doesn't matter how old you are.
I guess the important thing for me is to stay in touch with what's really going on in the other part of the world that I don't live in.
Me personally, I had, growing up, I had disconnect with my grandparents and people of that generation. And maybe it's that I'm older now, or maybe that I have this common ground to work with people like that. But that disconnect is slowly being erased.
It's not everybody that gets a chance to talk to somebody that's been in the service or something, so if you've written down something, you're leaving it behind for other people to read.
The thing that inspires me the most is, and I know this, and I've learned it over and over again, but that young people are always willing to work so hard for what they believe in.